Enyuna jo anumre yamobibia ajo edeba fache prime time news ebraso se oman mu nsem hodo ayensa asoso yede besomo se kase ensemo yi se frafbro santintin mu ha obetimi so enya bi ahye ewo Facebook enonti ukọ Facebook na wabo fache TV YouTube nso eye fache TV GH ewo YouTube na wanya bi ahye obenya bi na wakinkan www.facheonline.com na wakinkan bi amana ye kama ewo honom meka wo se kase no eye bebre ana ye de ebesomwo na mom de mu akotene ne bi ani Ghana gas yamo amane se nansen power outages ya ekosoro no ni nyina eye wonum fort bia na wanya ewo waso eye enei wo bo amane se wo siesie wo ye siesie ewo saa kwan ne so na aboa mankanea atimi aginagina so ewo my Ghana ewiem ya ekɔhwe ho ewo tema enei empanimfo aye nhwehwemu akosi ase adidie nti a sa ewiem no ekɔhwe ho no ade abatuja wo kire se na aye overheat eno enekofa sa ewiem kwanhia yi ade baaye aposifo a wonu mu asantemantam mu se enei wonu mapeja won adwumadie mu yie pa free se wonum enya ntiye se akronforafo eto se amanfo so ewo akwan hodo so ewo asantemantam mu no ene wonum apeja won dwumadie mu ensamoi ene de ka ho bie ena yagimre na yade besomwo se enwumre no siabrem kase prime time news ewo fache TV me yene ya yade besomwo eye me Obrempong akwesi jabowa mene AFIA tumwa Kaakyire don sheba ko ye besre na wo de wo bre afamie ne de kase ne nchemu abro Ebusiafo ya mama kwa babie mu yensha kase no ase Ghana Gas Company Limited ebo mamu ni nyina mane ese nansan won mu fidi ahodo bi a wodidi djuma eho etochema eno na ka ho bi ema enkanea preso esi wo my Ghana emo na no wukwada bosumida na toso edu num enejmeko no ebo amane ese wo munya fort baby a won munya fort no na eye Bena management system na sa Bena management system no ena ehwese heat medium system HMS ya wo won matena ye no ebebo ho bra enti abre bia ya afidie no eye hye ebro so no nanka sa Bena management system no aba ne homodia na adwojo ne ma no nenso ebra wo mo hu se na no wukwada eniema eye akwache no won ma engineers esi form ekoshe adekrop a esie no mo bebo amane se sa Bena management system no enya fort kese pa chese wo how abamu ya baby ana edro no na ekọ animu eno ne ka ho bi mankane ne dum ye kra na no wukwada no a na omanfo nyina ebo sujetire no na wo se eba asa no na sese gas supply ya wonum etumi enya edi efree Ghana Gas Company ho no eso etie na nso sesie ya ye kasai wonum betimi abo manfo ano ho basai one more siesie sa Bena management system BMS afidie no ama ebo adwuma nanso so enche one mo ato de wodi AC anemu sanse wenu ayemre no enti wo mo ede emno no ebehye dada no anemu ama no etimi agina ne naso abo adwuma denden pa said ye beye nyina monkane an bekoso a agina som na opanipa wo ye head of corporate affairs e wo Ghana Gas Company Limited Ora Richard Ernest Kirk Mensa ene ne semtrefo edi nkomo a wo kire ensemi mu se akakuma bi na wo mu yi BMS dada no afri ho na emo na wo no mato no wo de ahye anaimu
10 a.m. on the 14th the Bena management system which controls the heat medium system of the plant failed to operate, which resulted in the shutdown of the plant. we immediately informed stakeholders, and the proactive Minister for Energy summoned the stakeholders for an emergency meeting. And even prior to that emergency meeting, in-house, the technical team of the company, together with management, did a risk assessment on the alternative route to on the plant, which was successful. So even before this release came on, the plant was on. But we just wanted to get optimization before we can inform the general public. So as at 8 p.m. on the 15th, the plant came back on stream, and since it's been producing, and as we speak, we are doing 115 mm scarf to the power plant. And there's the simple message I want to put across: there's no cause for alarm. We have very competent technical team which put their technical brains together, and they were able to start the plant using the manual system approach. That is why we are producing. Even though management swiftly made provision for replacement of the faulty gadget, the machine is running as we speak, and the replacement is on the way to the site for fixing, so that we can come back to normalcy with the automated system.
Sky Row micro aircrafts ewiem kumaya ene ekonya nkwanhyia ewotema na enuafo mienu wonum ehwere wonkwa enam sa kwan ne so no empanimfo ya oba omaga na asoya wohye ewiemhyɛn nkwanhyia ene ewiemhyɛn eho enhwehwɛmu ene ho bambɔ wonum akate ene wonum aye nhwehwɛmu ade akosiase na ade a woka nyina ene sɛ woyɛ nhwehwɛmu no na wode hwɛ adienti a sa ewiemhyɛn etimi nya nkwanhyia wotema na ne nyina wonum findings a eba ye no kyerɛ sɛ ansa na wiemhyɛn ni betu no de nani akyerɛ mu ɛwɔ enkran pomponi mantem mo no na engine no ahiti ye fɛ no overheat no na ahiti pa ema empo ema ne muso no na utimi wo sɛ enwisie kuma bi enenam ɛtoɔ ya ehu ba nanso wonum ampa mua ena wosi so a papa eno ena kofa saa enkwanhyia no ede ba ye wo kyerɛ sɛ sankyerɛmu nyina wo bɛyɛ no krado na wodi ato abonten bosome ya edi yanim na ye bewura mu no 29th May 2026 ena odi enhwehwɛmu ni nyina de beto abonten ama obia atimi ahunu de ekofa saa enkwanhyia no ede ba ye pa wapanimpa ya wakasa ye eye lead investigator Captain Paul Fojo ena de saa enkyerɛmu ene enhwehwɛmu report etuja.
The pilot and his younger brother proceeded to Ho Township and later returned to Ho Airport with 20 liters of fuel. That's RON 95. I guess you know what RON 95 is. It's the fuel you buy from the petrol stations. Yeah, then 95 octane. In preparation for the return flight to Accra. The aircraft was refueled with the 20 liters, and the pilot conducted a local circuit flight with a friend who met them at Ho Airport. The friend occupied the pilot's seat, whilst the pilot occupied the passenger seat behind them. After landing, white smoke was seen emanating from the aircraft engine as it taxied to its parking position. 15 minutes after parking, the aircraft taxied for takeoff, with the pilot still in the passenger seat behind and his younger brother in the pilot seat in front. Shortly after takeoff, the pilot contacted air traffic control, that's air traffic control at Ho, and requested clearance to land back at Ho Airport for technical reasons. The pilot reported after landing that he had experienced engine overheating and proceeded to conduct a visual inspection of the aircraft with particular attention to the engine coolant. The pilot indicated that the coolant reservoir level was satisfactory and no further defect was identified during this inspection. 30 minutes later, after landing, the pilot requested for takeoff. The aircraft took off from Ho Airport for the return flight to Accra at 13:37, that's 1:37 p.m.
And I know ya bo amane se oswafo wo hwe sikasam so Dr. Kasela to force yanya kwan ekọ IMF and World Bank spring meetings ewo amanone na enhyiamu no echi no wanya kwan ene ensemtrefo ne adehye binom atwetwe enkomo enhyiamu no nkyɛnkyɛn kutahudie na no na wo bo amane se o my Ghana sikasam ne ntoto asese ekọ nanim no enya wo ma no kasa bia sa kwa ene wo kasa wo de wano do nwira ebi nwo nti na mom eya ade a ewo ho ya wo manfo nyina ani tuamu ya obetimi edi ho adanse na wo se eya nhyehyɛ wo mo de agu akwan mu da febo enya ni manimu ya de ya daache wo no ebesan amane afri wo no na montuo papa ho amana kofa wo ha bia aba Dr. Kasela to forcing echiremu a ebra aban ne ba ye no obeto se economy no eyare no Wanum esi jina yesa wabetoto niema ye na womo ankasa ahwe se wode ahohyeso ebebu oman no titiriw ewo sikasem enti ade baako a eda enson ya aban no eyeye ene se asoafo a aban dada no abreso no omo wo ha ene aduonu miensa 123 no wo behwan so a ede aba bedru aduosia eno no a wo ye no aboa pa amasika dodo na nkese se aban no ekari na wadi etua asoafo 123 ka no eso ate abafom eno eda nchen a reforms bebre na won mode eba ye na won mototo niema ma Bank of Ghana so gina ne na so ahwe ya ene Ghana cedi enya ahode na American dollar eso ate abafom enti wenum nyina ya niema pa abane de agu akwan mu a bibia dan so eda di pefe ama o my Ghana sikasem ekoyi enti aho kyere kyenkyerenche ya ankane na wo Ghana timemfo so no eni hobiem.
How do we sustain the gains we have made? I want to assure you as investors that the gains we have made so far are not cosmetics. They are gains that obviously were thought through and engraved in law. We've implemented a number of reforms, a number of an introduction of new laws. Let me, for example, state that when we took office, we reduced ministries and also ministers from 123 to 60 in 1 year, cutting the number of government ministers by half. We've also introduced an amendment to a number of acts, mandatory commitment authorization through procurement, where you require commitment authorization to be able to procure. And this commitment authorization can only be granted through the Ministry of Finance when your budget will carefully be looked at. If you do not have the budget for, you can be assured that you will have the opportunity to procure anything beyond your budget. And this affects every sector of the economy. No one is spared. As long as you are covered under the Procurement Act, you have to comply. We also introduced an amendment to the PFM Act at 1136 by introducing the 1.5% primary surplus in law and setting a debt ceiling of 45% of GDP. Establishing a fiscal council, which recently you are aware that the President announced the fiscal council and we expect to begin their work anytime soon. We introduced a number of reforms on capping, for example, statutory funds, and channeling these resources to government priorities, particularly decentralization. We are seeing a number of measures also around revenue administration. In the past, tax refund account was abused. Now we introduce a ceiling by reducing the amount going to the refund account from 6% to total revenue deposit. We amended the Petroleum Revenue Management Act and strengthened what we can use petroleum resources.
Obrempong edia na yeko asante mantem mum eho na aposi fo a wonu mu asante mantem ebo amane sesesei sedie akromforemfo apagya won ho ewo ekwan so no wonum ehwe se wonu so bebo modern bia na won so atu won so sa ede afriu ekwan mu na ne nyina ene se de nansan akwanmukafo akromfo yi wonum eka won ho a na wakọ Robert Cars ahodo ewo kwan mu na botutu atuo de egu enipa so ama eno mu ba kompo na baabia ni go so ekwan ne so ebisi wo honom ene de keka ho eno na wo bo amane se eno kura ka ho bi na brekum Chelsea wonum player Dominic Efamu na wakọ ne nkratie na wohwere ne nkwa no eno nam so bi ama posifo bo amane se enei wonum ayire won tammu wapagya wonum djumadie mu pa se de beya obetumi atu akwamukafo yi so sa na ebetumi ede bambo ene asumdie ede abre woni a wonam akwan hodo so ede tu kwan wo asante mantamu opanimpa ya wono ena woto nkra ede ma aposifo a wonum asante mantamu owura Godwin Ahianyo ene de sansemi etu jabra woni sentrofo etwetwe enkomo no.
After these two incidents, we placed our FPU base. Initially we had one FPU base. As we speak, they've augmented their strength. We added more men to those who are already on the ground. We have also added vehicles to ensure that our men are always on that stretch patrolling to avoid some of these unfortunate highway robberies that we recorded. So if you ask, yes, the men are on the ground, and also the PID personnel, that is the Police Intelligence Directorate personnel, who are always in Mufti, are also on the ground just to gather intelligence to help us get those behind these robberies. And as we speak, yesterday we issued a statement indicating that we have arrested 2 of them, the gang leader and 1, and we declared 3 other persons wanted. I can assure you that pretty soon we'll also get them arrested. As we have arrested these 2, wherever they are, they can run, but they can never hide. And I know from our Inspector General of Police through to the last police constable, we've vowed to put our life down to protect life and property. And it is our resolve to ensure that we prevent crime from happening. And even if it happens, it should be in the singles, and if it's in the singles, we should get the perpetrators arrested and put them before court to face the full rigors of the law. But I can show you that we have done. You know, crime is something that we cannot eliminate entirely. It will definitely happen, but even it should happen, it should be in the barest minimum. So we are doing our possible best to ensure that these 2 unfortunate robberies are recorded. We don't record them, because for some time now we have not had any major highway robbery within our jurisdiction. It's just the recent one that we recorded, which was fatal. I can show you that with the measures that have been put in place, we'll bring it to nip it in the bud. I'm calling on the general public to help us to fight crime. It's a shared responsibility, as we always say. So the community members, you know them, like those who committed these 2 robberies. I knew some of them knew them. So it was the collaboration between the police and then the community members that helped in apprehending them. So it is a call to all of us. Whenever a crime happens, it's the public that will call on. We cry on to them that they should just come, give us any credible information that will help us apprehending the culprit. So with these 3 persons that we have declared wanted, we still appealing to the community members across the length and breadth of the region and the country as a whole. Whoever knows them by face, by their name or whatever, they should just call the police emergency numbers, and then that will be of help to us.
Yada so ewo bambo ensemo ye free asante mantemo e de ani kire etifi mantemo northern region o main prosi adwumako ne nkrabata ewo ho ebo amane ese nansan won mo de wani ato form ehunu se mantem num ekwan bone ye o manfo afa eso ya won mo eton enubone ewo ho no ekwan ni mu papa enti won mo etu on so sa na aprosifo enkrabata so nko an wate ewo ho ya won mo de Red Maria e na wode sa adwuma no hye won sa na won si form no so nyame adom won manya nipa ni bi akere wonom afei niam ahodo binuma won mabobɔ ne boa parcels beye oha ene enson 107 and a 1 month saka, 1 musu say, Nina, your bon samtawa we yibia. Na yaka say dear, and penny for bomb yes, a suspect. I watch the one no. One more process for catch air boss or bayan shushemu. And Yama one saka ya was to say a year no so. One more the befriend fidiamo. Now what me a bomb and yet dachi access and no custom. One more money a boissy na a year and part said the one more air canoa. Na etifi mantamu prosi commander Ora Wisdom Lavo ena ebo amanie sadie operations are Red Maria ekoye yeno ekoye nyina.
We have arrested 107 parcels of substance suspected to be Indian hemp. In fact, earlier in the morning they did similar arrests and during the course of arrest one of the suspects, which they made a follow-up on it as to where he got those substances from. And he led the Red Maria team to a place called Bambim, that is a suburb of Tamale. And then during a careful search, they uncovered the 107 parcels of this substance. The Red Maria is up to their task. And I keep saying that they will go all lengths to chase all these people and then get all of them arrested and bring this menace to an end. And that is what we are seeing now. And it's going to be a continuous process. And this case, early tomorrow, the suspect will be put before court. And I am cautioning the rest of the people that those who are entering the forest, those who are being taken to court and they are still entering the forest, they will chase them and will get all of them arrested. This is what we are saying. This is just the beginning. We are going to pursue all of them and then we'll make sure that this menace comes to an end. What we are seeking from the public is that, in fact, they should volunteer information. We strive on information. Without information, we can't do anything. So we are calling on them to tell us where these people are hiding so that we go after them and then eventually we bring this menace to an end. That is what I'm saying.
Adam Kumaya wonumo emrasebe jafie enei wonuma frosimpie na wodi nkomode wachire nyina ne se de NDC aban ya His Excellency John Dramani Mahama edie ni mu wotata NPP fo no se bi eha adwen eyade a eni kwan se ekoso saa ewo oman mu oman Ghana enka eye kabima menka biamamuo na yedebu oman nanso NDC aban empese wonum de kabima menka biamamuo no ebedi juma ene se woye Ghana ni anase ni titiriwu oye NPP ni na se wokodi nkomobi eko criticize aban no jumadi ahodo a wodi a wani betie no na empanifo afrawo na ene aposifo tata usa na ya bechewo ede wokọ wokan sansemo nyina enam baba amando ya aposifo kochi no ede ni firi sunyan ekopie mu onkran pomponi mantem mu mane ko yiyi nsem bia no na fi wosan remande no eno na enam so ama Adam Kumaye a wonumo emrase bejafie de sansem yi etuja na wo kire Ghana aban His Excellency John Dramani Mahama eda no se wonhwe na points no wonya wonum kasa kire se de wobi ekasa anase obi criticize wonum jumadi a na wama aposifo akofa no enya de a ebeboa oman Ghana amamuo anti wosre se John Dramani Mahama enya wonum kasa kire MP edema swame adesi a wonum wo honom honorable John Darko and the sansemi ede etuja.
So it is surprising that we are doing all of these things in our constitutional review, and yet somebody publishes something and we deem it as basis for prosecution. I think that this administration is becoming surrender car. They've done that to so many people that you yourself know, so many NPP people who posted one thing or the other on social media, will come and arrest you, shake you down. They don't want us to talk. It's completely unacceptable that right now people cannot freely express their opinion. What did Amando do? They say that he published a photo of the president and Kaakyire with LGBT colors, rainbow colors. Somebody started on radio to insult Baumia, called him, in fact, Basintali, and I'm sure you've all seen the video. Say Kufuadu and his family, they say his uncle is gay, and all kinds of things. Did anybody arrest them? They have the kind of things they said about Kufuor and Bawumia in the lead up to the 2024 election were worse. And I think that Ghanaians should be better judges. That this government in less than 2 years has become so intolerant of the opinion of people that they feel that it's okay to just arrest people, prosecute them. It's completely unacceptable. We have moved away from this kind of fear and intimidation. And so the president should advise his people. They should be tolerant. They've said worse things about Kufuor, nobody did anything to them. Gradually, we are, turning into the dark days of, tyrannical rule. That is what I'm seeing. Yes, because the rate at which people are being persecuted for expressing their views. In fact, I've seen some videos on social media where NDC members are even angry that they should allow these people to express their views. And that when we did that, we were not arrested under the previous administration. Should allow people to express their views. I think that is where we need to.
Ora Johnson, Esiedun Ketia na hotedi Ede General Mosquito. Eye titinani Edema National Democratic Congress NDC amanyoko ya naban ewoso. Wadi atu jase aban bie ni hɔ a wobetu mi so a woba no ono ankasa asese sika. Ede agubotomu abanebo ede akɔ aban mu. Eye Ghana fo sika ne eto nkakran no a wo magege ato no na sa aban no ede ba beye mpontunyuma. Enti sa aban bi ba na baya wo firi so ansa na wonu mo wo so eba no wo hye nwuma biase na foforo no a waba no eto nwuma na jeje mu a wo manfo enebre enti wo case studua se NDC abaya mampani John Dramani Mahamadi wo mani mu de eda wakoma so se project ahodo ya wo mbeto ya na aban dada no ahya ase nyina won mo beye na ade abako ya wo kan ene se ebetumi a and company for emmo fotuo bi ya wobetu din legacy project fund one mo ye ne sa sika dodo asese wode bo assembly ahodo no ho bra nyina na wo mo pone ho kakra na ode akwakoto sa fotuo num na dwuma ene se ebehye enwuma ahodo a aban foforo ne beto ye no na wono mo aye afri ho na omanfo anya so mfaso na one mensi ene akrache kropon panimfo ena afe mantamu NDC amanyoko executives ena ehia wono mo etwetwe enkom
Yama ohia adokoro ye kese no ba kopa ne ye ne amanyofo no suban bi a yebu abra ya ba botra konya efise ye yemu ne se aban bi ba no be sha adwuma bi ase a ode nyina yesika ebe sha ase o president bia meta konya so a ode ne sika free ne fie na abaye mpotuduma oba nyina yesika no ana ode hye mpotuduma ase enti se wantimi anwie na president foforo ba no ka se we de eya sumasi adwuma memfa mensanka na ono so akoje ne de ase ono so beye onwie na ono so agya ho foforo ba na ono so abehye bibi ase achia emuye enunti na president Mahama ka se ono de oba ni se bia oba appoint o DC bia oba appoint o baby out here no creative photo bi eto na to din say legacy projects fund tikabia baba bia fabi egum na fatua na monse projects ya abanda da bia ya wanwie no fasasi kano ewie sa projects no said e be ya yemfie na ni beso no yentibia wie ni nyina nkra yebetimi asi ebo aka se projects dada yebeto ya na akawura mu a ese oman no sika fa no yetimi awie bi ama ehon mfaso
apagya ne mu awo my Ghana mu na abre nyina enkwansia ensem no ekosoro awo Ghana mu no eno ema enkrofo de wonsa esnetene Toyota Voxy eso na no na empanimfo ede wonuma no atotumu a na opanim baako ya obepie mu wo Asante Mantam mu a oye United Party wonum titinani ewo Asante Mantam mu Owura Joseph Amoa ede na no atomu bie eno wo kire se aya na sankwanhye ya ekosoro no enye ka anase car ba kope na obetimi de wonsa atenetene so enyina car kro en eso ene de akwanhia ne ba na mom DVL fo woni a ye de license e de ma wo mu no tax ben na yeye enhwehwemu ben pa na yeye ansakra na ye de license e de ama wo num na se ye de license e de ma wo mu a ye di etire hwese de wo license ne ho na ehye wo num emra se wo mu se wonye no nso no wo ye saa ana eno eka ho bi na ma akwanhia akosoa epeja ne mu ewo my Ghana na ekum adehye wo my Ghana mu no eno nti ono de wo beka no wasisu dua se yenhye na nka DVL fro enhye sa anamontuo no wontu se de beya wo beboa na akwanso jojo ensem atimi akoyie na agina brane se de beya license ye de ma obi a ye beya hwehwemu asiase ne ye hu se nipa no osefata ansa na ye de license e de ama no na se ye de ma no nso a dwumadi a wodi kodie no ne kwan so enamra kwan so ana se de beya ye betumi asi akwanhia ho ano ebra wodi nkomo e wo Fache TV yende break so no sei ena wodi etuja
sa kam esi ho no a enu esi ho no etim konya accident wa parking be bi no na mu atu na ko bi o hu bi sala the one man accident drivers the responsibilities ni na aso de ni akwa car so which is very good because tiana na over otherwise no nyina accidents ya nya ho hwe na me feel say this is the way to go the person okwan so joa drivers must always be held responsible for their responsibility there no one breaking here how the speed what is the type of speed ya okono na be determine breaker obebo a ebetimi abomu anaze mo and maybe our driver say titwa so driver the next car need you man one pull away one pull away na akọ we ko town no go break na kan ko ma who do you blame and you know train say ya di ma wo na o kwa bujira fe onim say Tagawus ya any Tagawus golf onim say na ma suspend the license suspend the license no suspend you doesn't carelessly
na say ko match no cry
atasi but doesn't carelessly and the drivers no first they need training kwa on first of license we need to review it. Number 2, as I said, police, national road safety, insurance companies, and DVL, we about on one platform. The issuance of licenses. So, Obi ya bonia, yan linking it to the license, yan linking the licenses, yan linking it to a Ghana card. So, we are complete. To be Obi ya suspend the license here. Because what we found BBH and Congo licenses from Congo. Now, your drivers are responsible for their own life and the life of other people. See, I just a car, what do I into Yanabowi? Driver now, driver, but can't say, who do maybe I'll go speed, I'll do maybe I'll go break, and I won't go there 140 kilometers per hour. Now, can't now go break a better enough. Now because any of going to accident, so I'm not sprinter for accidents, other trucks, cars, accident. Will be an accident, young country near China. Such as not a woman, accident, so that was your mistake. Never suspending a license here. Obey making sure, say, well, come be very careful because who said there responsibility it comes to him direct. You know, private cars in house, more number plates. As I say, you more property. That's how we have the house. Car AS 40 22. So, oh, car no na oh yeah, my car for fra. I say two number plates no. The bell there is linked to you, so that wouldn't could be Bolivia. You're sure I be with them. Yes, animal. The attack which you only very careful power driving this animal now. So could you believe in us a suspended license here? We have to go. Do be careful. See, I yes, I didn't just a car no name. Because you are changing from left to right and right to left here. You changing, you know, wouldn't say, we have to say, still be to I'm a car accident. And TV that. And the drivers, no problem in your drivers.
Yadi ani extra epoye mantem mu kropon koforidia emu Nansan ebeto dwa se Food and Drugs Authority ene aposifo aka won ho abachiri mu won mo abo ewra kofodua edwa so akosho se de ma won mo ton wo odi wonjuma na bra won mo koduru ye no wotimi sisi enwono ahodo bi ede ekofa mfidie mu na won mo hunu se enwono a omanfo eton ewodwo mu no won mo de chemical wo frɛ no Sudan IV dye egum na saa chemical no enya de a esese enipa edi ekwa ne widie mu nti eba saa no FDA ni aposifo santi so ekwoche emanson na emai na womo de to FDA ni mu senye de hia ni womo na woton wo no womo nya bone bia womo kofa firi baabi na eba enu nti ebetumi a FDA fo womo ne nsi production houses ho baabi a womo firi enwo ne ye ase na won kwahwe se de onjumadie etie enti ho no na womo kohunu se womo de saa Sudan IV dye ni bi egumu a wobetimi akire wonom no kwasam so ne se FDA fo amane a wode ba abonten wo kire mu se ema wonom ye num ya wodi kan akire wonom no wo kan sansem ya ema womo tin so ekomia mia hodo bi a wo ye nwo no wo nya suspect bebre na edi efiri ho sesie ya meka se de ye bufuhie pa na adwadi fo ma no ede ekasa wonom se eba ne sa na egu wo mudwa ade iso nya wo mo na ye wo bi na aye no mo di sika akoto no wo bebubu ade amatememfo enti FDA fo epese wo mo to Sudan IV dye ya wodi egu enwo kokko emu eso sade a ene wo mo nko baabi a wo frase na wo ye enwo no eho ene beboa
akasa me pese o ma ya fidi a o de nwo ne bre ya ye di be wura enwo ni nse a enwo ye be hu se bibi wo ma na ene tem bi o de be na o ma ya fidi ne de apexe ne se ye hu abanya machine
di efo no mo na eso mko be mo ye enwo no no mo ko hwe no mo hwe se we ya na we nya asama mai kwa me ya beto sa enwo no e de abadwa so asama ti nya sa ya eton no on bre na sa mo che na sa mo bu ne ya ni ye mo bu ya ni ma se e se ya dum ka be ka hu ipa 5 yo maka me ka hu ne on so mo hwehwem nti yen kono ne be kokot o je no ana enwo so fa enwo fo afim ayi ma se ba ye no on fa ni pa 4 e de on ko e control no ma se nti egusu on wi ayi nti me ka me kire pe ni se enwo fo ni bi ati bi abade a na on so on se bi wo ba ya ada na sesi ya no mo rasin ko pe piki bi na mo fa ma on se enye sesi enye sesi na so me ko na se na ewu bi wo no o ma se sa na akosi e bi a na on me fo for ma mo a na se ye ne ho nka adwa mu eso me nya ewu bi an fan fra ho nti omo hwana mo hwe ni ye no mo kan wasa man ye ni abre fisara pa mbae fisara pa ba me bae fisi bande be pemene be ka se me nya 100 za ba ba je adu ka se me nya 100 za ba je be ba wo school a ofre me a de ha ye gu be sa please for di machi na market e ko dwa so di machi fi hospital police station sa ba e be fa obi product obi e de o me say omo ko test
ha ye pa e se ngu ye start ye nyene na me ne ton e na me so me be ji ya me sisi me so me ton enti na mo yesa mo se ye market amaye ngo no so enye ye ne ye omo na omo de breye na yeso ya de ya to enti se bibi wo okra wo so mo ye omo na wo so mo ko sa kro no so ko hwehwe mu wo ho
enti omo nya ya nim na omo guase ya se na nya ye ne ye ho no
because amaye market no akofem
East mansini no enei empanifo obo amane se de na ensuo ho akwaatwe ewo honom ne titiriw ene kuro ya yefre no ahwerewam na ensuo ho akwaatwe pa enam se na garamse bi a ekoso ewo honom ne nyina aka ho bi ama ensuo eho ayeden ewo ho na empanifo ya wonum eda mansini no ano DCE ya wo honom honorable Nelson wono ede ensem bi atudwa Isaka Nelson ede nsem bi atudwa se de ekoso nyina empanimfo ahu na wode wonan asifom sesei wonum ebiebie ensuo de yefre no mechanized borehole no wonum ayebi ya wonum atwitwa ahomam na wode aso abofom ama watimi asisibie ede aboa ahwerewamfo se de be ya wonum so betimi anya ensupanom se wonum mfefo ya wo kumase ene enkranpoponi mantem etiminya ensupanom no eno nam so bi ama wonum abie sa mechanized borehole yi bi ano ewo honom na no na owura yi ede tudwa no kire se empanimfo etu anamon bi ya se de yefre no garamse no wonum betimi atu ase se de be ya ensuo ho beto won ewo de aye honom na aboa amatimamfo so etimi anya ensupanom honorable Yakubu Isaka Nelson ono ene DC ya wo ho sei na ode tudwa
ya no ya boy ho de ko anim pa the committee bia because I want this week there. I'm just be a queen. Yes, I've been as a the best one pint. You know, be a trap, a percent. So the air is 7 MP. Say, you better make sure, say, including now, which we are expansion. We now, the project is passing water. And no more partnership. I do start to have room. Said we are moving to me. I did you imagine? I surprise at least a few household be with your benefited. Said we are in your own work, must and enjoy it. They say what our father Southeast is a bedding and enjoy. Into the way to Babel augmented, sir, in sure what district. Said we are a man from bedding. I think they need to be about. The agreement, they don't mark about 6 communities, but yes, start one of them. The 5 now. That you know, to the next community.
Okay, yeah.
And MP, they have been in the media for so many times. They fight against guarantee. Because of all kinds. I mean, some can be. They are so guarantees. And now, you sure war in Peteman. The air disobeying about the tax person. I ready. Yet, any information the answer will be covered beer. How we live here. Until the area already say guarantee. Until now, because you try to move, we say a bit by a cooperative mining. So that bet me as some organize issues. Until the district are guarantee no that a come mine in 7 and never be answer. So we will be kind of a mine at the district.
So ewo ahafano southeast honum honorable Yakubu Mohammed edin semne bi enche won ho emfamfiri galamsey eho efom agudie ya emfa mrakwan so sesei aban no edin enseseye aguakwan ya wonum ebeye community mining se de beye yebetumi afa mrakwan so na yede atu efom agudie no na aboa ama yenso yetumi anya bi na yensa atumi akoya no entimabunu nyina enka wakoma ento wonyam na wonhwe se de naso ye no ene aban eka bomu na wode community mining na abeboa
eno nti na wantena na hemfie na wanka enipa no anwumu a wono so aka wonmo ho a womo nyina di sa adwuman na bra no ya womo ntanya bi frisa womo ye ne saa no na eboa ma honidie ho nsem apagya na womo ankasa pomde ho nsem so akonanim afi wo san kire mpuntunyuma ahodo bi a emfie dunie obetena akonkori akonwa no so no waye se ohene ene afutu ahodo a wode ma omanfo ye ntie bi